Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, it's not noise, it's just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled The Power of Boring: Why Doing Your Job is the Most Underrated Leadership Skill. Here we go. There's a phrase I've been sitting with this week. It came from a leader that I respect, Mr. Chris Belknap, and it's deceptively simple. His quote says, "It's boring, but insanely effective. Doing your job." That's it. 7 words. And I think most people blow past it because it doesn't sound like leadership advice. It sounds like something your dad said when you were complaining about work. Well, stay with me here, because this one cuts deeper than it first appears. We live in a leadership culture that worships disruption, novelty, and transformation. There are thousands of books telling you how to reimagine yourself, your team, your company, your entire industry. And some of that is genuinely valuable. But somewhere in that noise, we've lost our grip on something foundational, something that, when absent, makes every framework and strategy fall flat. And that is the willingness to simply do what you said you would do. Here's the leadership moment I want you to picture. You've been in a meeting where someone made a commitment, a deadline, a deliverable, a follow-up. And then nothing happened. No acknowledgement, no update, just silence. You've been in that meeting. Most of us have been on both sides of it. Now flip it. Think of the one person in your professional life who you would trust with anything. And I mean anything. Who comes to mind? I'll bet they're not the flashiest person in the room. I'll bet they're the person who never left something hanging, who did what they said, when they said it, and quietly kept going. That's not a coincidence. Here's a common misread, though. When people hear "do your job," they hear a ceiling. They hear someone telling them to stay in their lane, keep their head down, and not aspire to more. That's not what this is. Doing your job at the highest level means understanding what excellence actually looks like in your role and choosing it every single day. Not when someone's watching, not when there's a performance review coming, every day. That's not a ceiling, that's a foundation. And you cannot build anything lasting without it. The reframe I want to offer is this. Consistency is a form of courage. It doesn't get talked about that way, but it should. Because showing up with the same standards on a Tuesday in February, when no one's paying attention and the work is hard and unglamorous, that takes something. It takes a kind of professional integrity that most people talk about, but fewer people sustain. And when you do sustain it, it compounds. Trust builds. Your team calibrates to your standard. The people around you rise because they know what you expect of yourself and they want to meet it. The reflection I want to leave you with is this. What is the thing in your role that you've been making more complicated than it needs to be? Where have you been performing leadership instead of practicing it? Because the boring stuff, the follow-through, the reliability, the quiet execution, that's not what's left after the real leadership happens. That is the real leadership. Belknap was right. It's boring, and it is insanely effective. Clarity doesn't come from complexity. It comes from commitment to the work, to the standard, to showing up day after day and doing your job.